clean the house before we get started. For those who are rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in or out the door, for your boy, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Every bit of your engagement absolutely helps promote me into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for all the support. Now let's get to it. Drop the video.
How come as soon as somebody say, let's get a bottle, everybody's down? Let's drink, let's smoke. But when I say, let's go bike riding, let's go swimming, let's go walking, let's go for some quiet time, let's go relax. Nobody wants to do the relaxing. Everybody want to be drinking, smoking. Like, that's, you know what I'm very conscious of? Drinking and smoking and all that is the type that shows up on you 10 years from now. Then you're going to, oh, wow, I look old and stuff.
That's because people are stuck in a perpetual state of turn-up culture. The relaxing stuff isn't exciting. The relaxing stuff doesn't get them that dopamine hit because they are dysfunctional. If you cannot enjoy more than one type of environment, more than one type of thing, then you're a short-sighted person. And people who only find excitement in clubbing, drinking, and smoking are people that you probably don't want to surround yourself with. If you are a person, right, this is why I say people have to find others who match their life view, their world view, their outlook on having a good time. Because clearly this person isn't compatible with you. They might be physically or desirable to you or sexually desirable, but they don't match your world view, your life view. So you have to learn how to weed those people out of your life. You can't change a person, right? So just because that person is stuck in a perpetual state of turn-up culture doesn't mean you should associate with that person. You have a choice. Whether we try to socially engineer that out of them or not isn't our place, right? We can't socially engineer certain people from certain characteristics and traits and behaviors. We just have to let them be where they are. If you are a person that likes to do relaxing things like taking a walk, going for a hike, reading a book, sitting on the beach, whatever that may not be part of the turn up, then find someone that matches that energy. That's all you have to do.
A man with money is expected to share, but a woman with money is told she doesn't need a man. Same income, totally different rules. Let me explain before you get mad. In our culture, men are taught from day one that if they're not earning, they're failing. If they can't provide, they're not real men. If they don't pick up the check, they're broke or stingy. A man's value is often reduced to his financial output. Now flip the script. When women become successful, we don't expect them to carry anybody. In fact, we celebrate it as a form of freedom. Yes, queen, you're independent. She doesn't need a man. He's expected to provide, but she's expected to escape. Because if we really want partnership, then we need to stop placing all the financial burden on one side while celebrating freedom on the other.
Bingo! I got action.
I agree. She's absolutely right. This is what I say about women having contingencies when they go into relationships and marriages. See, her money is for the escape, like this woman so beautifully said. His money is for provisioning, stability. Her money is for herself. His money is for everyone. And I don't really like saying society. I like putting the blame where it belongs. How you were raised. Women, by their parents or parent, they're being instructed to hoard their money, to look out for self, be selfish, self-centered, because it's a form of independence and freedom and ensuring that you're not shackled to someone who's abusive and destructive. This stuff wouldn't have to be in place if we actually taught both men and women the proper ways to vet and not be dysfunctional. See, the first part of this is not being dysfunctional, because if you're a dysfunctional person, you're going to attract what you are. See, you can't be dysfunctional and expect to attract a functional person. Life doesn't work that way. So we have to first make sure that women are not dysfunctional, that women are not looking for an escape plan, a plan B, a contingency, by being healthy and whole. And that way they can attract a healthy and whole guy so they can come together and build. They can have a joint life, not a we're together but separate life. Because here's the thing, in a marriage, there shouldn't be separate bank accounts. There should be a joint account with both of them accessing that money. Why? Because your money should be pooled to use to benefit the both of you, not individual.
He ain't lying.
be so funny how irritated men get when they notice they can't run game on you. First of all, I don't like you like that. So all this extra shit you're doing to get some ass, it ain't happening, G. Why am I meeting your mom the first time we meet? Why am I talking to your mama? I never asked to meet your mama.
Just like a woman.
Any man that wants you to meet his mama after he first meets you, it's weird. He's weird. And you're right. I would stay away from that guy because what reason is he trying to close the deal so quickly? It lends to dysfunction. Here's my point of contention with you. Homosexuals are men that go from woman to woman for a place to live and have food in his belly. If you're attracting homosexuals, men that are looking for a place to crash, then I have to ask, what type of energy are you putting out? What type of woman are you? If you're a healthy, whole woman, these type of guys don't even fall on your radar. See, that's the point. See, a lot of you women telling yourselves, you tell us the type of men that you attract, but you're telling us the type of men you attract, you're also telling us what type of woman you are. See how that works? See, I judge women by the caliber of men they actually attract, the caliber of men you actually entertain, and the caliber of men that you can keep. That's how I judge women, and for the most part, how we all judge women. See, if the caliber of man, the type of man that you are attracting is the type of guy that doesn't work, that can't keep a job, that doesn't have financial independence and stability, why are you attracting that type of guy? And why are you entertaining that type of guy, right? Why are you entertaining that type of man? You're simply telling us the type of woman you are. It has nothing to do with your looks. It has everything to do with who you are up here.
There's only one kind of straight relationship dynamic that works. And this is my professional opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna flex my useless gender studies degree, okay? And that is a dynamic where the man is the more patient, tolerant, and obsessed person in the relationship. Anything else is doomed. My own straight relationship is a testament to this. And that is simply because of the way the odds are stacked in the society that we live in. I don't make the rules, I'm just observing them. Look at any healthy, long-term straight relationship that you know of and tell me that this is not the dynamic.
Patience, tolerant, obsessed. Yeah, that really sounds like a healthy, whole human being. Someone that should be in a relationship. Someone that's patient. Someone that's tolerant. Someone that's obsessed. Now, don't get me wrong. Patience is a virtue. But exercising patience with a person who refuses to exercise said patience as well is not healthy. That dynamic is skewed. You're with a person that flies off the handle and you have to practice restraint and patience. That doesn't sound healthy. And for a heterosexual or straight relationship to be fruitful or work, in her opinion, with her useless gender studies degree, which I also agree, that man has to be tolerant. Tolerance is also not a bad thing unless the tolerance is coming from a place of abuse and manipulation. See, in her mind, if the woman isn't tolerant, the man is, then that means the man has good qualities in her sick mind. Because what is he being tolerant of? Why does he have to be more tolerant than the other human being in a relationship? It's because she knows the woman is insufferable. And the man has to use some form of tolerance to be able to tolerate her behavior. See, she tells on herself with all these words she used, these descriptors she used to substantiate her claims that the only successful straight relationship is in this dynamic. Obsessed. Obsession is never good. To obsess over a person is some form of derangement, psychosis. If you obsess over another human being, you cannot possibly tell me that's healthy, because let's flip the script. If a woman was obsessed with a man, she would have an absolute issue with it. She would say, why are you doing that? This man isn't worth it. Don't obsess over a man. You're better than him. You don't need to be obsessed with a man. A man should be obsessed with you. Any obsession from any human being is an absolute fail. It's toxic. But she believes that a man being patient, In other words, accepting anything this woman does in her emotional rages, in her emotional rants. That man has to practice patience for that. He has to be tolerable or practice tolerance with her despicable, insufferable behavior. And then he has to be obsessed with her. He has to be so overwhelmingly in love with her that nothing she does bothers him because he's obsessed.
Is you will or is you ain't my baby?
This woman has a gender studies degree, by the way, talking like this. Septum ring, by the way. She's one of those. Does this sound healthy to any of you listening to this?
I told you that bitch crazy.
So my boyfriend broke up with me. What happened was, he asked me to take him to the airport Saturday. His flight was at like 7:00 in the morning. So by this time I had to take him to the airport by 5. I asked him, it was like 2:30. I was like, babe, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really tired now. You know, don't you want to catch an Uber to the airport? He was like, no, I don't. I want you to take me to the airport. I said, okay, cool. So we jump in his car, take him to the airport. We on the expressway. His phone starts blowing up on his Bluetooth. Look at the Bluetooth. This person done called 3 times and this was a girl. I said, oh, so you done told this chick your itinerary and now she calling to wake you up to make sure that you up. And I was like, bro, I didn't even have to take you to the airport. You literally could have called an Uber like I asked you to, and I wouldn't even have known about her at all. So before I had knew it, I had turned around because he was driving. I done smacked him. And I slapped him. And he was like, oh my God, I can't believe you just did that to me. And I was like, sorry, but I can't believe you just tried me like that. It was just a natural reflex, honestly. So he get out the car, give me a kiss, tell me he loved me, call me when he gets through the security or whatever. Talked all while he was out of town, came back into town, didn't call me though. Came over, he called when he, didn't call me to pick him up, but he called and say he was on his way. Came over with a bottle of Hennessy. Now, for those who know me, us, whoever, y'all know we drinking 1738, we drinking Remy, we drinking Nene, Casa Azul, something like that, never Hennessy. He said, this is not going to work for me because of what you did. That was very toxic. And I just can't kick it like that. I could have really hurt you that night, this, that, and the other. So I said, I understand what you're saying. I ain't mean to slap you. I said, that was just an honest reflex. But I'm not about to take that either. Like, who is about to, you could have played that totally different. I wouldn't even have had to know that you know what I'm saying, had another chick calling your phone, making sure that was trying to be your little wake up girl. You know what I'm saying? Your alarm clock. Like, I shouldn't have had to know that, But he broke up with me because I slapped him. I need y'all to tell me if I'm wrong. What y'all feel about it. I definitely want to hear from the fellas. But that's what happened to me. Any experiences y'all want to share?
So her honest reflex was violence. Y'all can't be serious right now. But y'all constantly get on social media and tell me it's men who are aggressive, abusive, manipulative, narcissists, and violent. When this woman said with her whole chest that a natural reflex was violence, and he shouldn't have done what he did, and she would have had to use violence against him. She smacked him, and he broke up with her as he should have. Let me tell y'all a story here. Let me tell y'all a little story. When I was a kid, I had a friend. He was bullied. I was bullied as well, but I'm going to tell you his story. He was bullied, in particular by a particular type of girl, right? I believe that this girl liked him. So this girl would bully him every day on his way to my house. This girl and her brother would attack him, throw rocks at him, try to punch him, hit him, kick him, whatever they could do to enact violence against him. And he would run away from it every day. He would run. He wouldn't confront him. He wouldn't stand his ground. He would run. He would come, disheveled, breathing hard. And I would look at him and say, man, what the hell? What's going on? What's wrong? We were about 10 or 11 years old. What's wrong? Oh, nothing, oh, nothing, oh, nothing. He did that for a couple of weeks. Every day, he'd come to my house, huffing and puffing, out of breath, because he was running the whole time. And I was just like, dude, what's going on? What's going on? He would never tell me what was going on. So finally, one day he came over to my house the same way. And I said, look, man, you can't come over here every day like this. What's going on? Either you tell me or you can't come over here. And he finally told me, he said, a girl and her brother attack me every day on my way to your house. I said, really? He was like, yeah, they attack me every day. The girl doesn't like me. She wants to fight me all the time. She gets her brother to chase me away. And that's why I come over here sweaty and disheveled and huffing and puffing every day. I said, well, have you ever tried to fight back? And he was like, no. I said, well, why not? Well, she's a girl. I said, okay, that's understandable. I said, but she has a brother, and her brother is also trying to do something to you. Now, mind you, we're 10 or 11 years old. We're not teenagers. We're not adults. We're still kids. So girls and boys in that age range are on even keel when it comes to physicality. I said, you got to do something about that, man. You can't run every day and let someone just pummel you and beat you up because they don't like you. I said, you're going to have to eventually stand your ground. I said, whether it's with her or her brother, it doesn't matter. I said, let me give you a little tip on how to fight somebody. I said, when they approach you and they want to swing on you, first thing you do, you grab them by their shirt and you pull that shirt over their head and you go Joe Welling on top of their head while they're trying to get out of their shirt. Show them how to do it. I say, you do that to whoever it is, her brother or her, when they try to attack you. Okay. Next day came, same routine, coming by my house. It's the girl. The girl, her brother wasn't around. Tries to jump him, tries to fight him. And he did what I told him to do. Pulled the shirt over her head, and he Joe Well on her head. Once he did that, he ran to my house, excited. Man, I got her back. I got her back. I finally did something about it. I said, okay, what happened when you did it? He was like, well, before I ran, she was crying and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. I said, man, this can't happen. You can't keep beating on her. She's a girl anyhow. I said, I'll go over there with you and confront her and her brother. So me and him get together and we go over in the field where they would jump him every day. And sure enough, when we get to that field, because their house was adjacent to the field, they saw him and they both came sprinting out the house. Only this time I was there. And when they saw me there, they slowed up. Well, who are you? I'm his homeboy. And I come over here to see why y'all keep jumping my homeboy. They stood up there a little bit dumbfounded, perplexed. And the girl finally said, well, I did like him, but I don't think he liked me. And mind you, we're like 10 or 11 years old. And I'm like, well, is that a reason to fight him? And she was like, well, no, but I just don't like when a guy don't like me. I'm like, it's weird because we're only 10 or 11. So I said, look, y'all got to leave him alone. If y'all two going to jump him every day, I'm going to come over here every day with him and we all going to fight. That's just how it's going to be. Once I laid the groundwork for that, they left him alone, never messed with him again. And we went on about our business. I say all that to say this. Sometimes a bully has to be confronted, and sometimes you have to know when to walk away. That man, when he told you he couldn't deal with you anymore, you were his bully. Yeah, he did something foul, but you were his bully. And he confronted you, and he taught you a lesson that it's not always in the best interest of a bully to use violence and aggression to make their point. Yeah, you liked him and you wanted to be in a relationship with him, but you saw him as someone you could pummel into submission. And when you couldn't put him into submission, these are the results of your actions. You got violent. When he stepped out of line and did something you didn't like. See, you were a bully. And he told you and he did right. He left your sorry ass alone. Violence is never acceptable from a man nor a woman. And you can't shape this as a normal reflex to put your hands on someone because they did something you didn't like, no matter how foul it is. He didn't meet you with aggression or violence. He just met you with being dishonest in the relationship, which you had two choices, accept it or walk away. And you didn't choose either. You chose violence. And that's why you lost in the end.
Like Jesus.
You think that what we're fighting about is stupid. Just cause you don't agree don't mean it's stupid. Lately communication feels so useless.